Good morning, good day, good evening, good middle of the night, whenever you're catching this. I hope you're shining. I hope you're enjoying yourself, beautiful star. This is a bit of a personal story to illustrate what I was talking about the other day. It is in the link about dropping our doubt, letting our doubts just go, lay it down, don't listen to it, especially when our intuition, our knowing is trying to guide us to follow through with what it is asking and inviting us to do instead of letting doubt that lives within everyone to infiltrate and stop us in our tracks, to follow through with our thoughts, our intuition, our knowing. So this is a personal story to illustrate how this can really look, especially when we have no idea why we're doing what we're doing, but we know it can maybe benefit someone, the whole, somebody out there can benefit. And this is how I live my life, folks. Now, I do appreciate and understand that as adults, it's not so easy to just follow through with every thought. We have a lot of demands on us to go pick up the kids and cook the dinners and go grocery shopping and mow the lawn and go to work and all the stuff. I do understand that. And I also understand that I grew up with not in a household that diminished my intuition. I was more allowed to follow my thoughts. Um, but as an adult, because we're all adults here, I also understand the complexities of life. Uh, I'm suggesting that even when a thought comes, though, we still don't allow ourselves to, for the doubt within, to completely ignore and deny the thoughts. If we can't get to them in the moment, well, then just get to it when you can, right? We do what we can, when we can, and we don't worry about which way it flows. So this was, decades ago. I was a 20-year-old kid, 20 years old, and my cousin was living with me. I will say, folks, that this cousin and I, we never actually really got along, but we were helping her out to, she was coming out of a bad situation, so she was living with us for a while to get back on her feet. And for this particular day, for some reason, she and I were together, and we were in my car. What we did prior to this, I don't really remember. Um, and we're driving back home, and we're approaching a red light. And in the left side of that red light was like a building complex with different shops, medical buildings, whatever, doctor offices, that kind of thing, right? A complex. But one of those was a place to donate blood. And so as we're approaching this red light and she's yammering on about whatever she's saying, I wasn't really listening probably. Something inside of me, hence we did not get along. But I'm driving, and as we approach this red light and I look over, a thought in my mind comes and it says, go donate blood. Okay. So I pause for a minute in my brain and I go, donate blood? I mean, my plan was to go back home, drop her off, change, and then go back out and do my life. Um, well, I just turned to her. I said, hey, I'm going to go do something real quick. And I pull into the left turn lane to turn into that parking lot. And as we're waiting at the red light, she said, what are you going to go do? Do you need to go in the store? What do you need to do? And I said, I'm going to go donate blood. You can either come in with me, you can sit in the car, or you can donate yourself. I don't care what you do. I'm donating blood. That is how I talk to her. It's how I talk to actually a lot of people. I'm doing this. Um, Now, folks, I just followed along with what my mind said. I have somewhat of a rare blood type. Well, actually, it is rare. It's less than 3% of the population. I have A negative blood. My poor father had AB negative. They always wanted his blood. Um, and it had been close to probably about 2 years since I donated. Yeah, around the time I was 18, I donated. I think I did it around my 18th birthday. So it had been quite a while. Uh, and the thought just came, do that. So I followed through. I didn't care if people were with me. I didn't care if it changed my schedule. I didn't care what was going on. I followed through because someone's going to benefit from this. So we go in and do it. She did not donate, but she witnessed. She had never seen it before. She had never seen anyone donate blood. She didn't know how the process worked. She was intimidated by it, but she got to witness the process. Makes it less scary. So we get done. Uh, I go about dropping her off, and I do whatever I did that night. I don't even remember what I did that night. A few days later, we are sitting in the living room, and she's staring at me. Now, folks, I am used to people staring at me because whatever comes out of my mouth or whatever I'm doing at the time, 100 years ago, I would have been some sideshow freak that people just stared at. So I'm used to it. I'm used to it wherever I go. But not in my own damn living room. That's my space. So she's staring at me. I turned to her and I said, "Why are you staring at me?" And she said, "How did you know?" I said, "Know what?" She said, "How did you know to donate blood?" I said, "What are you talking about?" Because, folks, I just did and didn't worry about which way it flowed. I just did and I kept moving on. I followed my intuition. I just did and I moved on. She said, "How did you know to donate blood?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And she said, "Courtney, they are reporting that people are standing outside for hours to go in and donate blood across the country. They're standing outside in line that the workers can't even keep up. The supplies are not keeping up. And people are willing to stand for hours in whatever kind of weather to donate blood." And my first thought I was like, right on, humans. Good job. Good job, humans. Yeah, you stand in line. It don't matter what the weather is. Stand in line. Right on, humans. That was actually my first thought. And so I'm thinking that of like, really, because I hadn't heard that in the news. And I'm thinking, really, good job, humans. And so she asked again, she goes, "How did you know?" And it dawned on me why in that moment she was staring at me. That day, that it was about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're going home, and I said, "No, I gotta go do something real quick," because I follow through with my intuition, my knowing. I don't question it. I don't doubt it. I don't allow doubt to prevent me from doing something. It was the day before 9/11. My blow was ready to go. My blow was in the freezer, ready to go, and I'm sure it was shipped out. So we don't always know. We don't know the why. We don't know why the intuition, why the guidance, why the thought comes. But to get into the practice of following through with it can benefit the whole. And people might go, "How did you know?" I didn't know 9/11 was going to happen. I was a kid. I was not even paying attention to anything going on in the world. But those little things, I'm going to go donate blood. I'm going to do this. Regardless of what is going on. "Hey, you in my car, I'm doing this. You can come along with me. You can do whatever you want." And she got to witness. She was willing to then donate blood because she wasn't scared of it. That's what I'm talking about, folks. We don't always know why, and we don't even need to know why. If it's something that can benefit others, big, small, indifferent, and it comes into our mind, even if we can't do it in that moment, because life does happen, we still do it. So I hadn't thought about that for years. And honestly, I had that moment with her that I didn't explain to her why I went and did it because I didn't even know myself. I just told her, I just do. I just go do. People often ask me, how do you know? Or how did you know to do that? I just do. I don't even ask, or I don't even question myself. I don't allow doubt. I just do. As in, I physically do whatever I'm in within me to go do. If it benefits others and the consequences are zero, I go do. That's what I do for a living, by the way. This past year, because I am planning a family reunion, I have been thinking about, man, we haven't all seen each other in over 20 something years. People are going to ask me, what do I do for a living? You ever wonder about that question? What do I do for a living? And maybe this can help change your perspective on what you do. Because no matter what you do, think of that question. What do I do for a living? And I realized that my answer would be, I do whatever is needed. And so do you. You just may not view it that way. We do whatever is needed. So, beloveds, don't allow that doubt to seep in and stop. Let's all do whatever is needed. Trust yourself. I love you all so dearly. I do. I love you all so dearly. And that was a personal story as to how this really looks like. What this really looks like to live this way. To live without the doubt. My blood was ready to rock and roll for whoever needed it at 9/11. I love y'all. Cheers.